what is very interesting is a term that you have used is called engagement commerce,
Yes.
right? What exactly is engagement commerce? How will you define it to people who are not aware of it?
So, what happens, is Harbinder, every time you want to engage with the last mile, either you
Mhm.
call
Yeah.
or either you text, right? And you don't get any response,
Yes.
right? And it's such a frustrating experience.
Mhm.
And he, like the storekeeper, because he's the one guy, he's the accountant, he's the supplier, he's the distributor, he's everything. Yeah, that one
Right.
guy. And if he's free, you'll answer because he wants to sell. But if he's not free, he'll say, hello, 8 minutes, and then he'll keep you on hold.
Mhm.
He will deal with the customer who's already come into the store.
Right.
Right? Think about it then intelligently. If somebody comes in and say, how can I help you?
Mhm.
Huh?
Right.
And immediately say, हाँ मेरे को ये चाहिए available है क्या? अच्छा अब chat पे कर दो.
Uh-huh.
I need the price for this. Instantly you start getting answers. It's a very structured data because
Right.
we have a structured information about every products and services. We focus on commerce related issues
Mhm.
and nothing else. What we call customer engagement at a buying mode.
Okay.
So a customer in a research mode is very, very different mindset, and a customer in a buying mode is a very different mindset.
Right.
Therefore, our conversions are more than double digit
Right.
from leads to sales. Why? Because we are giving all the relevant information,
Mhm.
right? We're able to speak to the the customer, at the last mile. Because if there is a brand, we encourage brand to have a small call center who can engage and
Right.
pick up only the missed calls or the waiting calls, not all the calls, right? So think about it. There are a large number of calls coming in every day.
Right.
Call gets recorded at a backend,
Mhm.
gets analyzed from speech to text.
Uh-huh.
Basis that sentiment is rated. Basis if there is a competition, somebody is mentioning competition, product or price. We target coupons basis that.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's
Yeah. So that's called engagement for our parlance.
awesome. So it's probably a very intelligent commerce. I would say that
It is because you're saying at the last mile, see more. What are you doing? You're reducing the cost of distribution and logistics.
Mhm.
Right? You're only showing inventory available in that stores,
Right.
right? So you know that you get product level intelligence, what's moving and what's not.
Got it. But how does it lead to hyper local scenario?
Okay. Now hyperlocal. If now let me share my screen, if you may allow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can host disabled attending screen
One
sharing.
moment. Moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me do that. Let me allow you.
If I say gold ring Ghatkopar East,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Now it's a very generic search.
Mhm.
There's no brand name, nothing.
Right.
And these are the kind of searches people do on fast,
Got it.
right?
Yes.
You see who's ranking on top. Stores.kalyanjali's.net.
Right.
Okay. Again, stores.kalyanjali's.net.
Right.
It's above Just Dial. It's above Just Dial.
Mhm.
Even in Google Map Pack, you see Kalyan Jewelers,
Right.
right? Above India Mart, above Malabar Gold. There are more than 150 jewelers in that area. In this Ghatkopar in Bombay, that's a very big area for jewelry market.
Mhm.
So now think about if somebody is searching like this, right?
Mhm.
Where does it land,
Right.
right?
Right.
So the search was gold ring
Mhm.
in Ghatkopar area. So if
Right.
somebody had not even put Ghatkopar area, because there is a store of Kalyan jewelers in and around, this would pop up.
Got it.
On a single click, you get to know, you can call this, you can take a drive direction,
Mhm.
right? You can
Mhm.
send this location to your wife, you meet me there,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You can look at the whole catalog with new range that has come, right?
Mhm.
And these are the fastest moving products in that store. If you click on here,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it can become like a pendant and a ring,
Mhm.
right?
Got it.
So you can see why it is the highest. You can read the reviews of the stock. You
Mm-hmm.
can check the videos on a single click. My intent was to look at gold ring. I've
Right.
landed on gold ring on a very single click.
Right.
Right? So if I want to get direction, see this. I have not left stores.kalyanjewellers.net.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Right?
Got
And
it.
if I enter my location, say, right?
Mm-hmm.
On my car dash, I will see all this direction telling me left, right. I'm not even getting into Google Maps.
Right. Right.
I'm able to then, because you're in my environment, I'm able to tell you from which location and what time you reach the store.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once in your store, I will go back and check which product that you clicked on.
Mm-hmm.
I know what product you are interested in buying, right?
Right.
Because you have sent this information to your wife,
Right.
right? Through WhatsApp,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
Just a minute, I'll just switch on my WhatsApp. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So share the product details via diamond pendant ring.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I
Mm-hmm.
send it. I'm sending it to Kalyan, that
Mm-hmm.
store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I get that link. So my wife can get that link and she can come to the store.
Got it.
That's so dynamic without I having to type a single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, once all this has happened, right? If I would have called the store,
Mm-hmm.
for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could easily, get this recording also who's called,
Got it.
right?
Got it.
Let me show you how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Mm-hmm.
these are the brand that we are working at. Because I was showing you Kalyan Jewelers, let me show you Kalyan Jewelers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In these countries we are working with them. All these are real-time data,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
it's picking up from all the stores, all the information and mapping you. So you can
Right.
see the number of stores that is live,
Right.
right? Number
Uh-huh.
of products that is live,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if I take you to say leads management,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Today, as of now, 335 leads have already been generated,
Okay. Okay.
right? Now, if I filter this for say last current month,
Mm-hmm.
you can see total call leads 5,500, 55,821
Right. Right.
this month, right? And
Yep.
these are the calls. So you can, while we were talking, this call was happening. So you can listen to the call, right?
Right.
So you get to know each and every act of what people are doing at your asset. Now, if I look at analytics,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I look at search analytics,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'll filter it by date. Let me take you say one last 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
By you see the click-through ratio is 3.78.
Right.
That's
Got
the
it.
kind of engagement, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I can do location level information.
Right.
So which location, what product is happening, I can look at that, right?
Got it.
Location already buy now or drive, every information location specific. I
Mm-hmm.
can do product specific. Which product is trending
Right.
in which, right?
Got it.
And I can do conversion mapping. So for example, lead management, I can see how many products got sold
Mm-hmm.
through our platform, right?
Got
So let me show you for last 3 months.
it. Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of product sold.
Got it.
1,664 lakhs.
Mm-hmm.
Class C1 was sold purely through our product, and you can get to this is the customer through us.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I can do filter by just source. I can do Sekel. So which place, what time, what product, what amount gets mapped in real time.
Got it. Got it.
So, and you can manage also from the place. You can change the product, you can change the price. It's very, very dynamic in nature.
Got it.
Therefore, it's dynamic engagement commerce.
Got it.
So, brand has a complete control about what, where, when, why.
Right.
Data and facts.
I understand engagement commerce. I understand, how intelligently it is mapping the need. It is getting you all the information right from the time the person engages first until the shopping happens, and the data that comes in on your dashboard. So you can track everything and also get the intelligent MIS from the site. Right. So, but how does this relate to the healthcare industry? Or is it just restricted to pharma companies like 1mg? You gave me an example, or is it beyond that?
It's much beyond that. Now think about it. When are you seeking help medical? Right, and because of metro cities or villages or town, during crisis, when your general physician is not available, right, you need guidance, or you want to go to a doctor. Now, affluent people can afford that, right? But general masses, they really don't have a personal doctors. Where do they go? They go to Google.
Yes.
Right? And when they go to Google, what are they searching? We can see bed near me, the cheapest bed, good medical facility.
Yes.
Right? If the hospital is not available, the inventory is not available, the doctors are not available online, how does one make a decision?
Got it. Yes.
Right? That's the key. So think about it. If you want to go to an ophthalmologist, you want to book an appointment, you're in a new city. All these young kids, if you look at the whole family structure has broken down today. Right? We grew up with our grandparents. Every summer holiday or winter holiday, we used to go back to a village.
Correct.
The whole family would come. There was bonding.
Yes.
Right? Our fathers moved out to cities to work because India opened up, there were jobs. Right? We moved out of our family. Now they had only 2 kids or 1 kid. Rarely.
Right.
Now we have moved out. We have zero support system. They are busy with their lives. We are busy with our lives. Who's our family physician in each city?
Google.
So unless and Google can only share because it's a user-generated platform.
Correct.
And it treats brand also like a user.
Correct.
And it can only give you intelligent information if you publish intelligent information. So when people ask why Google will not allow you to win, I said because Google in business of giving quality information to its users. Right? And therefore advertisers come there because large number of users go there because they trust Google over brand.
Correct.
Because they do the due diligence, they do the filtering, and only they allow certain things to rank.
Right.
So they are actually helping users at the last mile by quality content. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. So, but when you say that, the future of healthcare is going to be hyperlocal, and this kind of an engagement commerce will take place, where, it's not just the information about the doctor or information about the service being available. It also tells you that, there's an open slot available or there is a bed available, etc.
Or you can do a video conferencing with your physician. During lockdown, tell me, even my grandmother was on video call attending a doctor's session.
Yes. So, in your words, what would be the future of healthcare when it comes to hyperlocal? How will it benefit the society? How will it benefit the healthcare ecosystem also? I mean, you have the hospitals, you have the diagnostic labs, you have the pharmacies, and then you have the patient. So how does it all integrate and benefit from hyperlocal?
If you look at the ecosystem of healthcare today, Google is really engaging with every of those names that you mentioned.
Yes.
Then there are aggregators like 1mg, there are aggregators like Tractor. They are pushing, but they have a commerce intent.
Mhm.
They will only push information if they are advertised on their
Right.
platform,
Right. Right.
not necessarily the best information,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Now, we as an organic platform, we without zero money on advertising, that's not a revenue model. So
Mhm.
when brand comes to us, we say ad will be on top. People have grown. The generation has grown with mobile. They know which is ad and which is organic.
Correct.
They skip ads and they click on organic,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So when you give them really good quality information, commerce will happen. And when you're giving them all the information to take intelligent decisions, decisions will be made.
Mhm.
And best part is in and around that locality. So the epicenter of search,
Mhm.
and within that 1-2 kilometer radius, if you have all those information, diagnostics, medicine, doctors, hospitals, you can take decision.
Right. Right.
That's the key gap that we want to solve.
Got it. Got it. So, I was told that there have been some experiments around e-pharmacy versus omni-channel. Uh, which way are we headed?
I think the way every business is done for business,
Mm-hmm.
right? So bottom line is the deciding factor,
Right.
right? You may have a huge amount of funds today, but it is not going to be endless supply of funds if you're not
Right.
profitable.
Right.
You know where I'm heading, right?
Yes.
So if you are going to make it profitable for brands, they'll continue to invest in it because it's a sustainable business model.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon also started small. Please remember, it's not
Yes.
what it is today. It took 10,
Right.
11 years to do that. When are you as a brand starting is the question,
Yes.
right? We are giving you the infrastructure. We are going to do the heavy lifting. Would you be interested in engaging with your customers is the question.
Mm-hmm.
So if profits are the deciding factor for brands, the shortest route to profitability is reducing costs.
Got it.
Cost of distribution,
Mm-hmm.
cost of customer acquisition, right? Then cost of manpower quality,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the more footfall you could drive to a location, the more you have the ability to invest in that location,
Got it.
right? Then you can give better remuneration to better doctors, and then you create more footfall. See, end of the day, it's all about quality,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yes.
experience. So if you give a client, a customer, a very transparent approach of why and how, they are also intelligent,
Right.
right? So because end of the day, costs are going to get padded up if the funding goes.
Mm-hmm.
Today it is being subsidized by funding. Tomorrow it won't
Yes.
be.
Yes.
Please take a case in point of Zomato. None
Mm.
of the restaurant guys are happy, but it's a necessary evil,
Right.
right? So, but moment you get an option with an assurance of better delivery, better discovery, better cost management, it won't take them even one day to switch.
Got it.
It's a matter of time.
Got it. Got it. So, Rakeshji, what, in your opinion, or is the current size of the hyperlocal healthcare market in the country, and how do you see it grow?
I'm looking at least, the size would be easily more than 27 to 30 billion dollars in India alone.
And this is, we are talking
And
of healthcare,
just the healthcare,
just the healthcare.
hyper local healthcare,
Yes.
right? Why am I saying that? 80% of sales of all these big pharma and brands, take big and small,
Mm-hmm.
happens through the physical store today.
Correct.
You add up their turnover, right?
Right.
And even if you're able to give a lift of 10% through digital,
Mm-hmm.
you see the scope and jump that can happen.
Right.
And it grows quarter on quarter. That's the beauty of organic.
Got it. So, I have one question, that is there a way that you're solving an issue where what happens is when you go to a doctor and he
Yeah,
prescribes some medicine.
right,
So for a layman, that medicine is not the generic drug, it is a name, it's a brand that has been prescribed, right?
right.
And usually if you see that, if you walk out of the clinic and say that, मैं अभी यहाँ से नहीं लेता, let me go back to my home and I'll buy it from
It's
the
a
chemist near
research.
my home. And then you realize this particular medicine is not available because it was stocked at the chemist around that particular clinic.
Because
So
those guys were getting money to stock it.
yes. So how do we solve this problem when it comes to hyperlocal? Because the patient is not necessarily going to a doctor in his neighborhood.
So think about it, what government of India is doing. It
Mm-hmm.
is only trying to fight the brands through generic,
Right.
right? And any educated person knows the quality of medicine is not the brand, it's the ingredient in it.
Correct.
So moment you start giving options of when a person is searching for a particular brand, and also you compare with generic, you can start seeding the concept of generic and availability of the products in another or
But
similar product.
but who provides this information?
The
So
other
for
brands,
instance,
the,
so for
the
example,
competing brands, the competing brands.
the competing brand. So basically, in your platform, it is basically all the brands coming together.
Yes.
So which means that when you are searching for a particular brand and it has been, so your system captures the information of the salt and then the competing brands are showcased there as well, that these are your other options.
So what happens is the brand says, I want to do my competitive mapping.
Mm-hmm.
How many customers are searching for my other products also, other
Mm-hmm.
competitive brands.
Right.
The very simple formula is if you put other competitive brands information on your asset, it will also rank. And because it is on your asset, which is publicly available, you have picked up from their publicly available asset,
Mm-hmm.
digital asset, and you compare your product, those information will start ranking. And you will start seeing that, okay, when other people are searching on other competitive brand, you are ranking. And you are able to then convince them to come to you in that
Mm-hmm.
case.
Mm-hmm.
The
So,
way car wali are doing for cars,
mm-hmm.
pharma can do it for themselves.
Got it. But the point I'm trying to understand is that, which mean does it mean that every brand needs to be there for this sector to become successful on the platform?
If not today, tomorrow they will be, because end of the day, they know that where the customers are going, what they need to do for digital. It's a waiting game.
Right.
Right? Unfortunately, in our industry, it's called the herd mentality. If one brand does it, everybody wants to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, if one big brand comes on board, everybody wants it that way.
Right. So we understand the opportunity, then the opportunity that exists, and limited by only how soon you want to jump onto this bandwagon.
Exactly.
But what are the challenges that we see in India when it comes to hyperlocal healthcare? What could be the challenges?
The challenge is the quality of people sitting on the other side of the table who does not understand the implications of digital going 5 years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Only the owners understands it.
Right.
Right? Because they want to be in business for 5 years down the line. The marketing head is there for only 1 year or 2 years.
Right.
That's the biggest challenge.
So it's tough to convince these guys to come and try this out.
Because they are also delivering quarter on quarter. Who is going to do for long term?
Right.
Someone has to.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And do you think the hyperlocal will be the disruptor in healthcare and well-being in the next 5 years? And why
It already is.
why do you say so? What makes you say that what you are doing or what is happening right now is going to disrupt the way the healthcare will be delivered in the next 5 years?
Let's go back last 5 years.
Hanji.
How did Practo, what is the valuation of Practo? How many number of doctors and chemists and path labs are there on Practo?
Mm-hmm.
And why are they on Practo? And how does Practo rank them?
Mm-hmm.
It's location specific,
Mm-hmm.
right? And information specific in that location.
Mm-hmm.
So if Practo has earned a living without even calling it hyperlocal, think about it. When you disrupt, you start ranking above Practo. The way I showed you, we started ranking above Just Dial, India Mart.
Right.
Game is changed instantly.
Right. Right.
Right?
And perfect. I mean, I kind of can visualize how it is happening. And so one of the things that has happened is that pandemic has changed the way things are happening. And, like I keep telling everyone that, disruption is not only by displacing what is there and replacing it with new, but it is also about organizing and reorganizing and representing, contextualizing. So keeping that in mind, how has pandemic and the sudden focus on preventive healthcare culture helping the hyperlocal in the healthcare industry?
Harbinder, please look at what happened during pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Richest of the rich people could not get a bed.
Mm-hmm.
The safety and security of your money cannot buy you health.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
So you need to be prepared and plan. Many people took a decision, boss, India में नहीं रह सकते यार.
Mm-hmm.
Because यहाँ पे you need to know the politicians to get a bed there.
Mm-hmm.
आम आदमी नहीं ले सकता है bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And challenge is that until unless and the Prime Minister is very well aware of this fact.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if you notice, he's really aggressively pushing it rural healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, he's pushing very aggressively generic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows that 70% of the population can't afford those kind of places.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have a right to live.
Correct.
So we know what the challenges are. We know what the bottlenecks are.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what the vulnerability are, even if you are the well-heeled.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic has opened our eyes for healthcare industries standards.
Correct.
Across the world, just not India, Western world also.
Mm-hmm.
When you need it, you don't get it.
Right.
So that's the biggest challenge that needs to get solved. Mm-hmm. How can you solve that? Digital is one of the ways to solve it. It's not the solution. It is one of the processes of solving the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Increasing the reach,
mm-hmm.
increasing the ability to treat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is the key. How do you bridge the gap? So telemedicine, medicine, telediagnostics is people know that it is important. People are already doing it.
Correct.
In their own way. WhatsApp से डॉक्टर से बात करके रात को 2 बजे भी अच्छा अब आप एक काम करिए हॉस्पिटल जाइए मैं पहुंच रहा हूँ. That's reality.
Right. So Rakesh, very interestingly, I mean, you touched upon medicine and telehealth, teleconsultations. Now, when you look at Sekel as a platform, I completely understand, where it is engaging with the people, then bringing the customer to the store, or in the case of healthcare, bringing the person to the clinic. But is your platform geared up to push telehealth and do virtual consultations?
Yes.
And how would that happen?
See, today we are already giving those features to our other customers for speech and text analysis. Mm-hmm. All we need to create is a bandwidth for video integration, which Google Hangout gives, right? And instantly everybody can, engage with a particular doctor or a clinic and get the first response before even the neighbors come to know that there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Because your mobile is your personal assistant.
Right. Got it.
That's the key.
Uh-huh.
And at that point of time, money is not an issue. You have a Google Pay, you have a Google Hangout, and you have Google Chat, or you've got WhatsApp Pay, WhatsApp video call, and you have a WhatsApp number. Instantly, you can make the payment, get the consultation, and they will send you the someone to come and pick you up.
Got
First
it.
responder, right? So
Got it.
most of the time, it's the timing of response that creates casualties.
Right.
So
Awesome.
it's basically understanding the technology framework, technology infrastructure framework, and why they need to build a hyper-local infrastructure. They already have a physical infrastructure. They have to layer it with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost of doing that is cheaper than what they would pay for change request to a Cisco or to an IBM, or because it's cloud-based. It's
Right.
subscription model per location.
Got it. Got it. And are you a self-funded organization, or what is the
Yeah,
structure like that?
we are.
So
We are.
so
We
how
are
many?
profitable.
Who are the founders of this organization?
So it's me, my wife, and Rajat. So
Okay.
Rajat Rode, he's an IT Madras guy. We were in the same colony. We grew up together playing cricket.
Okay.
So he was a nerd then. He's a nerd now.
So he's
He's done
obviously
technology.
tech. He's a CTO.
He is the CTO,
Right.
and he understands technology. He understands deep analytics, and he has worked for Spectra, Pharma
Okay.
Spectra.
Got it. Got it. And what is the kind of you said you are profitable. What's the size of the organization in terms of number of people as well as the revenues that you are doing?
So currently we are around 30-member team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we have per location subscription model, we have doubled our turnover virtually every year since we have started as Sekel Tech.
Right.
So we would easily be around say 14-15 CR. So we are doing a 1 CR revenue through subscription every month.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's a
Without taking
subscription revenue. So it's not even based on usage or whatever.
It's just a subscription revenue.
Got it. And do you also have a revenue share from the sales that happen from your platform? Because I mean, when you look at the kind of examples that you showcased, it was
When we started, the brands wanted to do that, and I said, don't do it because it won't be profitable for you. They said, no, we will go, we'll do 2% of sales. आज तक आया नहीं किसी से. तो राकेश जी आप मेरे को थोड़े ज़्यादा पैसे ले लो. Subscription model बढ़िया है.
And are you looking to raise capital?
We are looking for the right investor.
Right.
We are looking for someone who passionately believes in this, because I have been at it since 2013. I burned my money, I lost money, I restructured it, relaunched it. Investor would have run away. It's how much you believe in it. Yeah.
Got it. So Rakeshji, I have been somebody who's had over 2.5 decades of corporate experience, became an entrepreneur, lost all my money, restarted, created a profitable consulting outfit, and then partnered with Business World to create this healthcare thing. So I completely understand, but and I've not seen any successful entrepreneur who's not had a failure prior to his success. I mean, some of them may acknowledge it, some of them don't acknowledge it, but I've not come across anyone who's not tasted failure.
I'm very transparent about our failures.
Yes. So, and I personally also believe that we learn more from our failures than from our successes, because I mean,
yes,
what I learned from my failed entrepreneurship was far more than what I learned in 25 years of my corporate experience. Now, a very pointed question. When you're looking at investors, what kind of investors do you look for? I mean, do you look for an investor who's a professional investor, or a Lara who has got a lot of money and now wants to park it in startups? Would you look at an Indian investor, or would you look at a foreign investor? Would you look at somebody who's been a founder himself before? What is your wish list of the kind of investor that you would look for for your next leap?
I'm looking for a partner who's
Mm-hmm.
going to partner with me and who's going to scale with me. I'm just not looking for money. So money, there are a large number of people ready to write checks to me because just seeing the balance sheet itself.
Right.
Right.
Got it.
But those kind of returns for 1 lakh of investment, the kind of returns we are doing, and year on year and quarter on quarter, is something unheard of in startups, right?
Right.
We value Zoho as a company. We want to emulate that, ideally.
Right.
But we understand timing is of the essence.
Yes.
Like we invested our personal money in UK. We have just set up our UK office. We have
Mm-hmm.
hired. I'm paying him more than I take home here. So that's the kind of passion and to attract talent
Mm-hmm.
and to reward talent.
Right.
Right? So we need someone who understands these. Ideally, an HNI who's been entrepreneur, very successful. See, Lala is also a Lala because he is a Lala, and therefore he made money because he was shrewd about money.
Mm-hmm.
And one has to respect that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But would I want money from him? Oh, before I take the money, he needs to tell me what he brings to the table.
Right.
Money is, there is a lot of people who put the money on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
what you bring to the table is most important factor,
Yeah.
and that you will be part of it and not a hindrance to it.
Correct. Correct. And I mean, you're creating a gateway for your brands. So you're creating an access to the market for your brands in a very meaningful way, right?
Yes.
But how do you intend to create access for Sekel Tech so that people know it?
See, Sekel Tech will be known for its platform. We are a SaaS product company. There's hardly any product company out of India. They are rip-off of e-commerce, they are rip-off of medical commerce. There's nothing new in it.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only company in the world that gives you end-to-end visibility from discovery to delivery for physical retailers.
Got it.
Right? That's the most difficult thing to lift.
Right.
Right? Attribution.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are very clear what we bring to the table as a SaaS product, and we say that we want to work with brands. We are the tech partners with brands for their domain and assets. And why would a brand would not want to continue with us when they are growing exceptionally well through a platform?
Got it. That's amazing. I mean, Mr. Raghuvanshi, I knew a little bit about what you were doing, but I think that was far too little. It's an amazing conversation that we've had, and it's so beautiful to learn that, I was talking to somebody else, and one of the challenges that we felt among the entrepreneurs in India that we were trying to do something that somebody else has done outside, and the only things that is not making products coming out which are conceptualized in India is because of our limited thought process. So we don't see far beyond, we don't think big enough. I'm glad somebody is taking that step and doing and changing that culture in our country. So I'm glad that we got on a call, we spoke about this. I'm glad that there is a company which is going to impact the engagement and e-commerce in the healthcare space. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Harbinder, for being so patient with me and encouraging us. Likewise, I reciprocate the feeling.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Take care, and let's be in touch.
Absolutely, I look forward.